Hey Cowboys Nation, let's go for another round of news from America's team. Watch until the end so you don't miss any news and sign up to stay tuned for everything that comes out about the Cowboys.
Promising Cowboys WR in danger of being cut before 2024 season. The Dallas Cowboys could be forced to make some tough cuts prior to the start of the season. As the Cowboys prepare to start training camp later this month, there will be some tight position battles. One of the more notable ones will be at wide receiver, where Dallas will be seeking a third option to pick up the slack behind veteran starters Ceedee Lamb and Brandon Cooks. There will be a number of young and unproven receivers vying for the number 3 spot following the offseason departure of Michael Gallup. Based upon Cowboys Wire's KD Drummond's 53-man roster projection, he predicts Dallas to cut second-year receiver Jalen Moreno-Cropper. However, he does expect the Cowboys to bring back the former undrafted free agent on the practice squad. Cropper spent the entire 2023 season on the Cowboys practice squad after he was cut prior to the start of the season. The Fresno State alum had a notable collegiate career, garnering a first-team All-Mountain West selection during the 2022 season after catching 84 passes for 1,093 yards and 5 touchdowns. He was also named a second-team All-Mountain West selection after posting 85 catches for 899 yards and 11 touchdowns during his junior season in 2021. How Jalen Moreno-Cropper can make Cowboys roster, while the 5'11", 172-pound receiver will have to battle the likes of Jalen Tolbert, Jalen Brooks, return specialist Kayvontae Turpin, and 6th-round rookie Ryan Flournoy for the slot receiver role in Dallas. He could make the roster for another reason. As Nick Harris of the Cowboys' official website mentions, the implementation of the new kickoff rules may make Cropper a viable option. Jalen Cropper is one of a handful of 2023 UDFA signings that are eligible to participate in rookie minicamp this weekend, writes Harris. The former production machine at Fresno State may have a better shot at a role in 2024 with the implementation of the new kickoff rules and his return ability. Cowboys ST coordinator John Fassel has mentioned the potential of having 2 returners on kickoff, which would allow for more opportunities for Cropper, Tyron Billy Johnson, Deuce Vaughn, and others. It's worth noting that Cropper didn't play a major role as a return specialist during his collegiate career. He returned a total of 14 kickoffs for 297 yards, 21.2 yards per average, during his first 2 seasons in college, but didn't record any return stats during his final 2 years. However, if the 24-year-old proves to be a factor in the return game, he could solidify his spot on the 53-man roster. Dak Prescott no longer in walking boot. Report: it looks like the walking boot on Dak Prescott's right foot is nothing to worry about. According to ESPN's Todd Archer, Prescott is no longer wearing the boot after being seen wearing it while on vacation in Cabo San Lucas earlier in the week. Dallas Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott recently suffered a minor right foot sprain that temporarily required a walking boot. Perhaps most importantly, the injury is not expected to affect Prescott when training camp begins on July 25th. The last notable injury Prescott suffered to his right ankle foot was back during the 2020 season when he suffered a season-ending injury for a compound fracture and dislocation. He hasn't suffered a serious right ankle foot injury since. Ceedee Lamb and ex-Cowboys WR trade jabs in new posts. For Dallas Cowboys WR, Ceedee Lamb, one of the team's former starting WRs, has emerged as a major critic of the 2023 All-Pros play. Cole Beasley is known for his outspokenness, but now he is taking aim at Lamb after the Cowboys WR's impressive season. The initial volley from Beasley started with Lamb's workouts. On July 4th, Beasley posted a video of Lamb working out with added criticism. "Man, just do some heavy squats and power cleans," Beasley wrote. Lamb did not initially respond to that comment, but Cowboys fan at CassidyAce89 did. The user essentially said that Beasley has no place criticizing Lamb because he's never produced at the rate the Cowboys star has. Beasley responded by saying that Lamb only reaches those numbers due to targets. "Give me 180 targets off the couch and I eclipse 1,000. Stop looking at stats and check the tape," Beasley wrote. "As far as getting open goes, I'm confident I did that with the best of them." That comment prompted a response from Lamb, who basically shrugged off the claim. "I don't need 180 targets to touch a band," Lamb replied. "Pull up tape. I'd match you root for root on getting open. Just chill. Lamb set to hold out during training camp. The back and forth has happened at a noteworthy time for Lamb and the Cowboys. The 25-year-old is due for a massive contract extension and will apparently hold out from training camp until he gets paid. Dallas Morning News reporter Calvin Watkins first reported the situation on July 1st. The Cowboys training camp takes place in Oxnard, California every year, and as things stand, Lamb does not appear to be making the trip. Paying Lamb this offseason could be difficult. According to Spatrack, the Cowboys are already $20 million over the 2024 salary cap. Making the space to get the budget right as well as extend their top receiver may not be possible. Lamb is currently set to play on his rookie contract's fifth-year option. It includes a significant pay raise as Lamb will make $18 million this fall. But he will be expecting a much larger number in his second long-term NFL contract. Former Cowboys WR attempting comeback while one former Dallas WR is taking aim at Lamb, another is trying to get back on the field. James Washington spent the 2022 season with the Cowboys, but injury essentially wrecked his campaign. After failed stints and continued injury issues with the New York Giants, New Orleans Saints, and Indianapolis Colts, Washington essentially sat out the 2023 NFL season. But according to ESPN reporter Jeremy Fowler, he is not giving up yet. Wide receiver James Washington is attempting an NFL comeback after missing most of the last two seasons due to a Jones fracture, Fowler wrote on X on June 19th. A second-round pick of the Steelers, Washington has received multiple inquiries from teams and could be trying out for them soon. Washington was a consistent producer during his time with the Pittsburgh Steelers, 1629 receiving yards over 60 games, but his journey with the Cowboys and other NFL teams has not panned out. Jordan Lewis continues to get the job done despite the changing schemes and coordinators. The Dallas Cowboys had their struggles for years defensively. However, over the last several seasons, they've become a very opportunistic unit and one of the better ones in the NFL when they can pin their ears back and rush the passer with a lead. Throughout the different variations and schemes that have come through Dallas, cornerback Jordan Lewis is one of the few players that have been on board for them all. And he's given the Cowboys a return on the third-round selection they spent on him in 2017. It started as a rookie under Rod Marinelli, as Lewis would appear in 15 games with 7 starts. The former Michigan Wolverine logged 54 tackles, an interception, and 10 pass breakups in his first year, laying the foundation for his reputation as a ball hawk. After not playing much in 2018 due to being in the doghouse of former passing game coordinator Chris Richard, Lewis returned to form a season later with 51 tackles, 2 interceptions, 6 pass breakups, a fumble recovery, and 4 sacks. Despite the Cowboys' defense being terrible as a unit in 2020 under Mike Nolan, Lewis registered a career-high 13 starts in 15 games and amassed 59 tackles, 7 tackles for loss, 2 pass breakups, a fumble recovery, and 2 sacks. The 2021 season kicked off the Dan Quinn era in Dallas, and Lewis once again adjusted to another scheme with flying colors. He tallied career highs in tackles, 61, interceptions, 3, and pass breakups, 11, a forced fumble, 2 fumble recoveries, and 1.5 sacks. After suffering a Lisfranc injury that reduced him to 6 games in 2022, Lewis was back to being a valuable contributor last season with one of the best all-around efforts of his career. He logged 52 tackles, an interception, 5 pass breakups, 3 forced fumbles, career high, and 2 fumble recoveries. It's important to remember that Lewis is the Cowboys' slot cornerback, so he is often left on an island patrolling the middle of the field. Lewis is sticky in coverage, and combining that with his natural ball skills, he's the perfect CB3 behind a healthy Trevon Diggs and Darren Bland. Also, he's performed at a high level under several different coordinators, so he's proven to be a very smart player as well, who can adapt to any system. Lewis re-signed with the Cowboys on a 1-year deal back in March. This year, he'll have to play in a different system again, as Mike Zimmer has taken over as defensive coordinator. If history is any indication, Lewis will make the necessary adjustments and be a huge part of what Dallas does defensively in 2024.